Monster Hunter 6 reveal date confirmed. Let's watch.
I only. Okay, well, I mean, I guess I don't need to say it anymore, do I? Hello, my fellow hunters. How do you fare on this
I don't
fine
like
day?
your accent. I don't like the way you
How doth
talk.
your thumb twiddle? that's a weird thing
Yeah,
to say.
stop doing it.
Now that I do say it out
You should
loud.
stop doing
I
it.
just mean we're all waiting, aren't we? We're waiting and waiting, twiddling your thumbs, which is a great expression to summarize. I'm still going to stop talking about my thumbs now.
You should.
And, well, I can perhaps help you somewhat of a confirmation. And that confirmation essentially had somewhat of a confirmation. And
I
that
can't wait.
confirmation essentially goes along the lines of we're going to get Monster Hunter 6 announced, revealed, teased, confirmed to exist, and some sort of indication of what it'll be on MP September the 21st
September 21st is going to be the reveal date. Okay, sure.
at 7 a.m. PDT or 4 p.m. There you go. All right, I hope you enjoyed all of this, and good talk, everybody. Okay, now let's actually dig into this a little bit. What am I talking about? Well, as we know, the Monster Hunter 6...
I cannot. I have to speed you up. I am sorry. I'm sure you're pleasant, but I need to speed up the way you're talking because I'm losing patience. Because I want to see what your coverage is on this game. I want to see how you're covering this like reveal date, and I want you to talk a little faster so I can catch up.
Stars aligning, prophecy being fulfilled is very much in full swing. There is layer upon layer upon layer of indication, and I don't think it's any difficult layer upon aligning talking about. Well, as we know, the Monster Hunter 6 stars aligning, prophecy being fulfilled is very much in full swing.
Sorry, I'm sure you make great content, but you need to talk a little faster. I need you to get to the point. We live in an age of like a small attention span, and if you talk faster, that might help me out.
There is layer upon stars aligning, prophecy being fulfilled is very much
Okay,
in full swing.
this speed
There
of
layer
you
upon
is
layer
much
upon
better.
layer of indication, and I don't think it's any difficult or bold prediction to make that we are getting it, and sooner than we think. We got told to watch out for Tokyo Game Show in September.
Tokyo Game Show in September, so we had to wait until Tokyo. Okay, I was hoping you would have said things now, sure, but fine.
Know that Monster Hunter games tend to spend 6 months from announcement to release. 6 months takes us to March. March is in the year of the 20th anniversary, but it is also the month that the first Monster Hunter came out in, and it's also still within this fiscal year, which is important as Capcom plan on releasing one more game this fiscal year that they believe will sell millions.
I doubt that the Monster Hunter Now mobile game will sell millions because it's just Pokemon Go for Monster Hunter, and I don't see a lot of people playing Pokemon Go. My brother avidly plays Pokemon Go, but I doubt people are going to be out there on their phones just like trying to like swipe to attack in public. If they want to do that in public, they would rather play on the Switch for Monster Hunter Rise and Sunbreak. They would rather be at home playing World or playing, actually I think you can play World on the Steam Deck, not sure.
And their only games to historically do that are either Monster Hunter or Resident Evil, and, well, one of those is infinitely more likely, given everything else, that are either Monster Hunter or Resident Evil year that they believe will sell millions. And their only games to historically do that are either Monster Hunter or Resident Evil, and, well, one of those is infinitely more likely, given everything else we just talked about. That's all.
Yeah, because in the past, like, if you Google, like, most best-selling games and, like, most sales for Capcom, you'll see a shuffled, like, itemized list between Resident Evil and Monster Hunter. Those are the top IPs for Capcom at the moment. See you soon. There is mostly Street Fighter as it's been like played out right now, but nothing has had a lower barrier of entry than Monster Hunter and Resident Evil compared to the high skill, the rising skill required, like the learning curve of playing Street Fighter compared to this.
All well and good, but Now we have a little bit more. That said, Tokyo Game Show that Ryozo told us to keep an eye on now finally has Capcom's official plan, blessing, and structure revealed. And it looks a little bit something like this. Capcom's Tokyo Game Show 2023.
I don't know if I'll be home to stream this, but I'm excited to play. I'm excited to see the news. The online event scheduled is on the 21st at 7 a.m. So it'll start streaming from beginning to end, I guess. But September 21st is on a Thursday, so I'm going to come home and do this in between laundry cycles, I think.
So we have 5 games that are confirmed to be a part of their whole setup presentation.
Monster Hunter Now is the next filler game before a console title, but Monster Hunter Now is a mobile game. So I don't want to put all the chips in.
Games that will be playable. We've got Resident Evil VR edition, some Ace Attorney action. The Ace Attorney games are a lot of fun. Street Fighter 6, of course. Exoprimal, yes, of course. And then Monster Hunter Now, as we can see right now. I'm still very much excited and hopeful for this. And yes, again, you know, the antic. But I at least think we'll get like a month of just a good, solid, addicting Monster Hunter mobile game before they go full crazy and ruin it with microtransactions if they do. So that, you know, it's something, right?
Yeah, I think it'll, because if anything else, I don't see, because what makes Pokemon Go more accessible for people is like, if you don't have time to play Pokemon, then there are devices like the Go Plus device that whenever you come by like a Pokemon stop, you can click the button and you can collect Pokeballs and stuff like that, or have automatic catching there's another device that lets you auto attempts captures with the Pokeballs only. I don't know if there'll be an update where it'll use all your potential Pokeballs, but in terms of like auto play when you don't have time to pull out your phone, I hope for other people there's a chance for an auto combat with these monsters for like a hit or miss kind of a thing, because that is what would save like this chance of the game, because I don't want to like, there have been accidents made during the beginning of Pokemon Go where Pokemon had a car accident or were in people's yards while playing Pokemon. So for Monster Hunter Now, which is a very active mobile game, you have to be on your phone with your attention on it the moment you come across a monster. But if there's a way to like do an auto battle with it versus you playing it should give you a better advantage and likelihood of getting materials versus auto battle, which is 50-50 or 40-60. I want that as an option.
Anyway, then we get ourselves the actual dates. So on the public days, you can go and actually play the games they have available on the floor, but the one that we care about is the online schedule event. The online special program on September the 21st. There we have it. This is your Monster Hunter 6 and any other surprise announcement and reveals that you want to keep an eye on. And of course, I very much will be keeping said eye. You have a few games that will just be straight up playable, chiefly the ones that were mentioned.
Yeah, so like I'm happy that Resident Evil 4 is on VR mode, because that's going to be a fun adventure. It's, again, people like the Resident Evil series, and the original VR of the Resident Evil 4 was relative success. So I don't see this, that's a W. Exoprimal has seen good gameplay videos so far, but hopefully when people review the demo at the game show, hopefully it's a plus. Ace Attorney Apollo Justice trilogy. Okay, so people do like the Ace Attorney games, like the Ackman. The Ackman has a format that is similar to Ace Attorney, so that's great. Street Fighter, people are liking it at the moment, and I'm concerned about Monster Hunter Now, but we'll see.
And they, I'm sure, will have new content or exciting things going on with them. And then we also
A shooting
have
range.
The potential
That's pretty cool.
of actually another reveal in this special online program.
Another
Actually,
reveal?
Another Monster Hunter reveal. Yeah, I do think it's very much highly likely that we will get 2 new Monster Hunter games officially actually announced and teased. You might be like,
what I hope is like a mobile game and a console game release, because it's been a couple years since the initial release of since the end release of Sunbreak. So all they're just doing is maintenance in the meantime. So this should give them a chance to do more console
Wait,
titles.
what are you talking about? Well, the first, yes, Monster Hunter 6, that one is very much expected and very much welcome, but there's also another one, and you might have forgotten about it, and I wouldn't blame you if you did, because basically nothing has happened with it for, well, forever since it was announced. The collaboration game between Capcom and Timmy
Timmy Studios is working with the new Monster Hunter title.
Studios.
Wait, hold on.
Since
Earlier.
it is announced much special, and then we
Oh, that's different. Tokyo Marui is a shooting range. Okay.
between Capcom and Timmy Studios. Yeah, that little gem. These are the same people then that.
Okay, so they made Contra. They made Pokemon Unite was a mobile game, which is like battle royale games.
Do Honor of Kings, and the upcoming one that looks really ridiculous, and I'm hoping it is actually ridiculous because I'm very interested in it. But also Pokemon Unite and Arena of Valor, a huge MOBA in its territories. So this led, of course, to speculation, and I've had to talk about this too, that are we getting like a Monster Hunter MOBA-esque, where you play as a monster and have your abilities? I mean, I wouldn't say no to that, right? I think that has potential. I mean, literally Pokemon Unite, but Monster Hunter would be far from a bad time. But
I don't know how I feel about a potential Monster Hunter MOBA, just because I mean, they're experimenting already with the Pokemon Go-esque Monster Hunter game, so without knowing how well that will succeed, what's the likelihood of Monster Hunter Go, a Monster Hunter MOBA? Because if you do Monster Hunter MOBA, it's almost like I can see where you're choosing, instead of 5 heroes, you choose 5 monsters, and the minions are like the low grade, high grade monster hunters that are trying to slay the other person. So I can see where that can be a thing, but it's so abstract that I can't say it's a fun idea, because Pokemon makes sense. You controlling your own Pokemon to do certain things makes sense. Like, but because it's gonna be weird when you're doing a monsters versus monster hunter, because if you want to fight big monsters, be a hunter. But if you're competing monster to monster like Pokemon, then you play Monster Hunter. There's a Monster Hunter Frontier game that's like Pokemon-esque in a way.
But we still have no idea what this partnership is actually going to entail in the form of the game it will take. So I have every suspicion that, well, that's going to be revealed at the Tokyo Game Show. Because there really isn't.
I want good news from it, because I don't want like a Capcom to get an L. We already see L's from Blizzard. We see L's from other companies. Not Capcom, please.
Any other big events left to announce anything. And that goes doubly for Monster Hunter 6 if they want it to be this fiscal year by the end of March. Tokyo Game Show is it, and it is a big event. It's a big deal. It is something that matters. It has got a lot of eyes on it, and when you are announcing a game as big as Monster Hunter 6, you have to choose a big event. So it's basically Tokyo Game Show or kind of nothing when it comes to Monster Hunter 6, and the best way to set up Monster Hunter 6 is beforehand reveal another new Monster Hunter game, this Timmy Studios collaboration.
But it can't, I do not, looking at how toxic League of Legends is, and Smite, and if it's going to be a similar situation where it's in the same vein, I don't want the next Monster Hunter game to not feel like Monster Hunter, because even if they're trying to push a narrative of transformation, much like how they're pushing the envelope for Final Fantasy, that's Final Fantasy's progression makes sense. But if they go into the mobile game and MOBA game era of gaming, I feel like that's a downgrade for Monster Hunter as an experience, because the whole point is you taking the reins as a hunter and fighting these things that are bigger than life. But who knows?
And then that kind of is the opening act to warm everyone up for the, okay, that's kind of cool. Oh, no, it's Monster Hunter 6! And I feel like that will be a really nice way to do it. So yeah, this is all very, very exciting, and, well, I cannot wait for the end of September to find it all out. So yeah, there you have it. A little bit of an update on all things Capcom, all things Monster Hunter. Oh, and I suppose I should say, while we're talking Capcom-y stuff in general, I would also not be surprised if we got some more meaty Dragon's Dogma 2 stuff at Tokyo Game Show in this event. Perhaps some indication of a release date, or window if not date, as that's the other big deal game that's currently happening for Capcom. Essentially, Dragon's Dogma 2 and Monster Hunter 6, at least that we know about. I'm sure they have plenty, privately in development.
So, like, this footage looks nice for Dragon's Dogma, but again, with the last title and the anime, they're mid to fast food content. it's not the quality that I'm hoping for yet. So this is just a
isn't ready
tease.
or they don't want to talk about yet, but those are the two ones that we really care and know about. So that is something I expect too, and also something that I'm very much just as excited for, as Dragon's Dogma is phenomenal, and I imagine the sequel is going to be such an upgrade over the first experience.
That looks fun.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, there's not much else to say other than, well, what are you expecting? Do you genuinely think that it is going to line up like it's looking like it will? Or is a part of you still like, I don't know, I could still see it being a little bit further away? But I just can't. Capcom love releasing games on important anniversary years. It is hard to believe any world in which next year doesn't see Monster Hunter 6. The only thing that still might be up in the air is the timeline of reveal to release, but the stars, as I said at the beginning, are very much aligning, and you know what? I'd rather be excited than hopeful than sad and doubtful, and I think that applies to a lot of things in life, does it not? In any case, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. And until we meet again, a goodbye.
Okay, so that was the video. The video is fine. I dislike that the video was better for me when sped up. But what are your concerns? Because I don't want the trajectory of Monster Hunter to be a MOBA, much like Pokemon Unite is, because Pokemon Unite makes sense. I don't see a way for it to make sense in another format other than you versus monsters, because that's the whole point of Monster Hunter. Unless, of course, you think about Monster Hunter Frontier, where that's following you hatching eggs, and those become like Pokemon-esque like combats. My brother says it's more than just a watered down way of explaining Monster Hunter Frontier. Dude, it's fine. It can be a game for me, but when I played the demo, it wasn't the demo itself was fine, but it doesn't excite me more than grabbing my hammer and my switch axe and charging into the head of a Rathalos and buckling the knees of a Nergigante and dethroning a Kuthtaroth. So that's my experience with Monster Hunter, but I'm excited for Monster Hunter Rise when I finish Persona 5. So I'm really excited. Let me know what your thoughts are. That's it. Okay. See ya.